Welcome back to Don't Visit Europe, the only travel channel hosted by someone who literally survived Spain, yet emerged profoundly, irrevocably, and emotionally scarred. Today's subject, Spain. Spain. The land of fiery passion, breathtaking art, sun-drenched beaches, cured ham legs dangling provocatively from every ceiling, and an almost supernatural, utterly pervasive lack of urgency. It's a country where absolutely nothing ever begins on time, with one notable exception, the scams. Those, remarkably, are punctual to a fault. Imagine a place where dinner typically commences at midnight, museums inexplicably shut their doors during the very hours you'd expect them to be bustling for lunch, and your Airbnb host with an unwavering straight face assures you the keys are just behind the rock, which naturally turns out to be an elaborate scavenger hunt involving several rocks, a disgruntled cat, and an unexpected encounter with someone's laundry. Spain is undoubtedly beautiful. Beautiful, in Spanish, conveniently translates to excruciatingly overcrowded, ridiculously overpriced, and suspiciously humid for a country that perpetually boasts about its arid climate. You'll touch down in Barcelona brimming with romantic expectations, perhaps the visions of strolling hand in hand through charming Gothic corridors. What you'll actually leave with, however, is a persistent heat rash, a collection of at least 3 suspiciously inauthentic Gaudí keychains, and a profound, nascent desire to dismantle the entire global tourism industry from its very foundations. But here's the crucial, often overlooked truth about Spain. It doesn't bother to explain itself. It simply happens to you. It's less of a planned itinerary and more of a fever dream, a vivid, disorienting experience punctuated by surprisingly good paella and alarmingly agile pickpockets. And just when you believe you finally escaped its clutches, perhaps you're at the airport breathing a sigh of relief, someone, inevitably, will thrust you a glass of sangria into your hand and earnestly inquire if you'd care to watch flamenco in a cave. Because of course. So, if you're currently contemplating a visit to Spain, here's my straightforward advice. Don't. Unless that is, you are absolutely, unequivocally prepared for a relentless onslaught of 10 cities worth of tapas trauma, a series of soul-crushing beach betrayals, because that pristine sand in the brochure was a lie, and an acute, disorienting case of cultural whiplash. If you've been nodding along in horrified recognition, please like this video. Comment with your deepest, darkest Spanish travel secrets. And for the love of all that is sacred, subscribe to our channel for more brutal honesty. Finally, tell me in the chat right now, what's your absolute worst Spanish travel story, and why, in every single instance, does it seem to involve Madrid's metro at 2 a.m.?
Barcelona. The city that didn't just invent the word stunning, but then immediately buried it beneath 2 million selfie stick-wielding tourists. You undoubtedly arrived with dreams of basking in the architectural genius of Gaudí, didn't you? You stayed, however, primarily because the airport misplaced your luggage, and, wouldn't you know it, the metro decided that exact moment was perfect for a citywide strike. Barcelona's an expert at romancing you with its breathtaking architecture, only to simultaneously pick your pocket during the most passionate embrace. It's not merely a city, it's an elaborate, beautifully designed pickpocket simulation, cleverly disguised with the allure of delicious tapas. The La Rambla, the grand illusion. Welcome to the La Rambla, arguably the most famous street in all of Spain. And by most famous, we also mean the most relentlessly walked, the most intensely watched, and, rather crucially, the most meticulously walleted. Here your senses will be assaulted, and your wallet lightened, by a chaotic symphony of sights and sounds. You'll encounter suspiciously fake sangria, paella so overpriced it should come with an apology, those baffling human statues that remain stubbornly motionless, until of course you try to photograph them for free. And pigeons, oh the pigeons, moving with an unnerving, almost predatory speed. Every third person you encounter on the La Rambla is without fail a fellow tourist, wide-eyed and vulnerable. And every fourth person, they're actively engaged in the noble pursuit of selling you a flimsy bracelet or official Barcelona sunglasses, often, inexplicably, well past midnight. Searching for an authentic Spanish experience? Take my advice. Walk precisely 3 blocks in any direction away from the La Rambla. If, however, you're looking for an immediate and profound sense of regret, simply plop yourself down at any one of those charming-looking terraces on the La Rambla and bravely ask for the bill. Your wallet and your soul will thank me later. This, my friends, is tourist mistake number 03. Sitting down on the La Rambla, a place where your wallet takes a siesta amidst the Gothic pickpocket theater. Sagrada Familia, the never-ending masterpiece. Next, we arrive at the iconic Sagrada Familia, Gaudi's undeniable magnum opus. This cathedral is so spectacularly stunning, so mind-bogglingly ambitious, that it has been under continuous construction for a period demonstrably longer than your grandmother's most protracted house renovations. You'll meticulously purchase those highly coveted, timed entry tickets well in advance, expecting to waltz right in. Instead, you'll still find yourself patiently, or not so patiently, waiting in a line that snakes around several city blocks. You'll finally enter this sacred, awe-inspiring church, only to be immediately reminded to silence your phone, while simultaneously being surrounded by approximately 500 other pilgrims, all holding their devices vertically, relentlessly filming every single soaring arch. You'll gaze upwards, the light filtering through the stained glass, and for a fleeting moment, you might even feel genuinely spiritual. Then, almost inevitably, you'll be jarringly elbowed by a boisterous British school group loudly debating whether Gaudí was in fact a previously uncatalogued Pokemon. Yes, it's undeniably beautiful. Yes, it's undeniably holy, but it's also unequivocally a €26 lesson in advanced crowd control. This is truly the never-ending cathedral, a place of Gaudí, chaos, and construction dust. The Barcelona paradox. Barcelona makes no pretense of being a peaceful, tranquil getaway. What it offers, with an almost aggressive generosity, is a potent cocktail of breathtaking art, incessant noise, and the occasional spiritual migraine, all served up at once. You will undoubtedly leave Barcelona feeling lighter, both emotionally, from the sheer sensory overload, and financially, from the various experiences and souvenirs. And yet, maybe, just maybe, you'll find yourself secretly wanting to return and do it all over again, this time perhaps with significantly tighter pockets. Have you ever been pickpocketed on vacation, or was your primary theft more of a spiritual nature, perhaps at the ticket counter? Was your experience on the La Rambla a delightful stroll, or did it feel more like La Trappe? And seriously, folks, is the Sagrada Familia ever actually going to be finished, or is its perpetual construction merely the most elaborate, long-running performance art piece in human history? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
Madrid, the capital of Spain. In tourist speak, that translates to where you go to sweat in museums. It's hailed as the vibrant heart of the country, which is frankly ironic given its complete lack of a beach, a refreshing breeze, or any mercy whatsoever during a scorching July. They famously say Madrid never sleeps, and that's primarily because you'll spend your entire night frantically Googling existential questions like, why is the air so hot it actually hurts? Do legitimate jamón stores ever close during these apocalyptic heat waves? And is it perfectly normal to start hallucinating Goya paintings from heat stroke? Museo del Prado, the marathon of misery. This is, undeniably, one of the world's most exquisite art museums. It also doubles as one of the world's longest, most soul-crushing corridors of emotional damage. Inside, you'll marvel at masterpieces by Goya, Velázquez, Rubens, and seemingly 147 different portraits of various European royals who all appeared to harbor a deep personal hatred for you. There isn't an air conditioning unit powerful enough to truly combat the oppressive heat, not a single bench soft enough to offer genuine respite, and certainly no exit signs clear enough to facilitate a swift escape when the inevitable art-induced delirium sets in. Halfway through the fourth room dedicated to religious trauma art, you'll find yourself genuinely pondering, Is this profound cultural enlightenment or simply a form of elaborate punishment? Meanwhile, in the midst of this spiritual reckoning, some oblivious individual will be relentlessly snapping photos of every single painting with their flash on, seemingly impervious to all rules. And no one, not even a deity, will bother to stop them. This is tourist mistake number 14, doing a museum marathon in July. Welcome to Prado or Pain. Puerta del Sol, the searing crucible. Welcome to Puerta del Sol, the supposed geographical center of Spain, and more accurately, the precise spot where your legs come to die a slow, painful death. It's technically a plaza, but in reality it functions more like a gigantic, open-air frying pan teeming with disheveled mascots in dubious costumes, a bizarre scattering of fake monks, and at least one persistent character attempting to peddle iPhone chargers that look suspiciously like they predate 2013. You'll spot the famous bear in the strawberry tree statue, snap your obligatory photo, and then with alarming swiftness, you'll likely find yourself embroiled in a petty scam orchestrated by someone inexplicably dressed as a minion. Street performers are absolutely everywhere, vying for your attention and spare change. Shade, however, absolutely nowhere to be found. Here you will unequivocally burn, spend, sweat, and ultimately question every single life choice that led you to this infernal square. This is minions, mascots, and mild heat stroke, the center of Spain, center of regret. The Madrid paradox: art, architecture, and a persistent state of arterial dehydration. Madrid truly offers a unique blend of world-class art, stunning architecture, and a persistent state of arterial dehydration. It's a city that audaciously dares you to chase profound beauty through a relentless 42-degree-C heat, navigate overpriced bottled water, and endure soul-crushing existential museum fatigue. And yet, despite all the scorching sun, the baffling crowds, and the sheer physical discomfort, you'll find yourself leaving Madrid with an undeniable, almost masochistic desire for more. More Goya, more crispy churros, and perhaps most importantly, more reasons to exquisitely complain about your next European adventure. So, tell us, what's the hottest you've ever been while desperately trying to absorb some culture? Have you bravely survived the Prado without a complete physical or mental collapse? And when it comes to Puerta del Sol, did it feel more like a charming city square or a literal portal to hell? Share your fiery Madrid tales in the comments below.
Welcome, intrepid traveler, to Seville, the city of abundant oranges, passionate flamenco, and temperatures so intense they'll melt your very soul. Here, every sun-drenched corner looks like it's been plucked straight from a telenovela set, and every tourist, they look like they've just lost a brutal brawl with the sun itself. This is the kind of city where you start your day dressed impeccably for those perfect Instagram shots, only to leave looking like a microwaved tortilla. Seville doesn't just get hot, it gets biblical. We're talking melt your sandals to the cobblestone hot. Honestly, even the statues here seem to be sweating. Plaza de España, the stunning, sizzling crescent. First up, the majestic Plaza de España, truly the jewel of Seville. This magnificent crescent-shaped plaza will make you gasp, "Wow," when you first lay eyes on it, quickly followed by an audible "ow" as you attempt to cross its vast expanse at 2 p.m. You probably came here envisioning serene moments on the beautifully tiled benches, gliding across picturesque bridges, or enjoying romantic rowboat rides. What you'll actually encounter, however, are screaming children, ridiculously overpriced fans, and the occasional boat paddle smacking an unsuspecting tourist square in the face for a solid 19 minutes. Looking for shade? Too bad. You're destined to die looking cute. This is tourist mistake number 28, visiting Seville at noon. This is where flamenco meets a flame-throwing sun. The Real Alcázar de Seville, the Sweating Palace. Next, we venture into the Real Alcázar de Seville, an ancient Moorish palace
that also happens to be a famous Game of Thrones filming location, and we're currently home to approximately 400 tourists per square meter. Every intricate mosaic within its walls whispers tales of breathtaking beauty, yet every single corridor shouts one desperate question: why are there no fans in here? You'll dutifully get in line for the famously exquisite gardens, all the while questioning whether you're still on Earth or experiencing a vivid heat-induced hallucination. It's undeniably magical, it's profoundly majestic, and it smells faintly yet distinctly of sunscreen and a collective simmering regret. Welcome to the Palace of Heat and Humility. Here you'll find boats, blisters, and broken dreams, leading to an insta-perfect, reality-dripping experience. The Seville Challenge. Suffer beautifully. Seville doesn't merely invite you, it tests you. The city dares you to chase beauty through an unrelenting 44-degree C heat, all while attempting to smile genuinely for countless selfies. If you can survive this crucible and emerge with your grin intact, you earn the undeniable right to declare, "I suffered beautifully." You'll roast, you'll sweat, and despite it all, you'll probably post those photos anyway. So, what's your pick for worse? Succumbing to heat stroke inside an ancient palace, or getting unexpectedly slapped by a boat paddle in the Plaza de España? Is experiencing Seville in August a profound cultural immersion, or simply a descent into slow-cooked madness? And be honest, have you ever ruined a perfectly good outfit in the relentless pursuit of an insta-perfect photo? Share your scorching Seville stories below. Spain's most underrated city. And by underrated, I mean it's weirdly futuristic with the persistent nagging side of sand in your eyes disappointment. It's the undisputed birthplace of paella, but also, paradoxically, the place where all logical reasoning goes to utterly die. One minute you're standing inside a structure that looks like a forgotten spaceship from a bizarre Cold War sci-fi film. The very next, you find yourself uncomfortably eating soggy churros right next to a person inexplicably dressed as a giant orange. Valencia, it seems, was a city that boldly declared, "Let's build a futuristic architectural utopia," and then, with an almost comical oversight, completely forgot to include any public restrooms. Ciudad de las Artes y las Ciencias, the concrete colossus. Behold, the Ciudad de las Artes y las Ciencias, a truly shining beacon of audacious modern design. It's a city within a city, an aesthetic marvel that doubles as a Bond villain's lair, only without the actual villain, replaced instead by hordes of perpetually sweaty tourists. You'll find yourself wandering through its seemingly endless, stark white futuristic corridors, constantly thinking, am I actually in Spain? Or have I somehow gotten stuck on hold in an incredibly high-budget iPhone commercial? Yes, it's undeniably impressive. It's monumental. But it's also strangely empty, much like your soul after your third utterly failed attempt at capturing that perfect viral selfie. Do you want to go inside any of these magnificent structures? That'll be extra. Do you fancy a brief respite and wish to sit down anywhere? Also extra. Craving a shred of shade from the relentless Spanish sun? Absolutely impossible. You come here for the awe-inspiring architecture, you stay because you've inadvertently become trapped in a monumental concrete oven with absolutely nowhere to refill your dwindling water bottle. This is the concrete jungle, no shade provided, where art meets architectural confusion. Playa de la Malvarosa, the beach betrayal. Ah, the beach. The very words conjure images of golden sand, a gentle, cooling breeze, and endless, blissful relaxation. Just kidding. Don't be fooled. You'll embark on a tram ride for a solid 40 minutes, brimming with seaside anticipation, only to arrive at a chaotic, sprawling strip of scorching hot sand, cacophonous screaming children, and alarmingly aggressive volleyball players. The beach bars, in their infinite wisdom, will charge you an outrageous €8 just for the privilege of renting a sunbed, then immediately proceed to blast reggaeton music at ear-splitting volumes until you literally forget your own name. You will bravely attempt to swim,
expertly dodging suspicious floating trash and a series of alarming jellyfish warning signs, you will eventually retreat, leaving with significantly more sunscreen residue caked on your body than actual pleasant memories. This is tourist mistake number 34, expecting the beach to be peaceful. Here, sunscreen is required, dignity is optional, leading to a stark postcard versus post-sunburn reality. The Valencia Enigma. Beautifully bewildering. Valencia is akin to a particularly vivid dream sequence in a perplexing foreign film. Visually stunning, profoundly emotionally confusing, and for some inexplicable reason, just slightly sticky. It's the kind of city you genuinely won't quite understand, but you'll still feel compelled to post every single moment about it on social media. You might not ever truly grasp why you came here in the first place, but you will forever remember the sheer scale of the architecture. And without a shadow of a doubt, you will remember the persistent, irritating sand in your shoes. Forever. Join the chaos. So tell me, have you ever been to a beach that felt like it was personally attacking your very being? Is the Ciudad de las Artes y las Ciencias a genuine cultural wonder, or is it merely an elaborate alien testing site cleverly disguised? Are you firmly team futuristic architecture? Or, like me, do you desperately yearn for team give me a normal bench? Share your bizarre Valencian tales and existential beach woes in the comments below.
Bilbao, the city that stared at a humble fishing port and audaciously declared, "What if we transformed this entire place into an art fever dream?" You think Spain is exclusively about relentless sun and copious amounts of sangria? Think again. Welcome to Bilbao, a place where the rain often falls sideways, the pinchos are delightfully mysterious, and everything carries the faint, intriguing aroma of smoked anchovies. It's undeniably modern, it's unapologetically industrial, and it's suspiciously, almost impossibly shiny for a place with such a thriving population of seagulls. Guggenheim Museum, the Titanium Enigma. The Guggenheim Museum stands as the undisputed crown jewel of Bilbao. It's a magnificent, colossal titanium fish that appears to have spontaneously exploded into a sprawling art gallery. You'll find yourself utterly mesmerized, admiring the sheer architectural brilliance of the building itself long before you even consider stepping inside. Because once you're through those doors, well, it's mostly pristine white walls, bewildering conceptual installations, and the faint, unsettling sound of an old man whispering "conceptual" to no one in particular. There's one particular room featuring a video of a man staring intently at a rock for a full 9 minutes. And yes, you will watch it, and you will pretend with every fiber of your being that you get it. The gift shop, ironically, often feels more expressive and coherent than the art housed within. You arrive seeking profound meaning, perhaps a spiritual awakening. You leave with nothing but a rather expensive magnet of a giant dog made entirely of flowers. This is tourist mistake number 53, pretending to understand conceptual art. Prepare for intense titanium fish vibes where confusion is included. This is the place where you'll ask, Guggen who? Casco Viejo, Old Town, charm with a catch. Ah, the Casco Viejo, Bilbao's venerable old town. This is where authentic charm gracefully intertwines with treacherously slippery cobblestones, and the ancient buildings lean inward just enough to instill a lingering sense of trust issues. Here you'll navigate a labyrinth of narrow lanes, stumble upon boisterous pinchos bars, and grapple with a persistent, nagging suspicion that you've been walking in circles for the past hour. You'll attempt to confidently order a selection of pinchos, only to receive a single toothpick adorned with a solitary piece of octopus and a bill that feels, well, rather abstract in its pricing. There's undeniable character etched into every ancient alleyway, alongside the distinct, somewhat jarring aroma of fried squid at 9 a.m. It's lively, it's gloriously chaotic, and it's often just slightly BAMP, much like most bad ideas that initially seemed perfectly brilliant in the heat of the moment. Welcome to Old Town, New Blisters. The Bilbao Paradox. Industrial soul, artistic skin. Bilbao is a living paradox. It possesses the gritty, unpretentious soul of an industrial port city, yet it's meticulously wrapped in the shiny, avant-garde skin of contemporary art. You absolutely will not understand half of what you encounter here, but strangely, you will feel seen, even if that seeing is primarily done by a majestic 9-meter-tall flower dog. And just when you've declared your complete and utter exasperation with modern art, something shifts, and you'll find yourself, against all odds, starting to quite enjoy the confusion. So, tell us, is modern art a profound cultural experience, or simply a clever modern scam? Have you ever paid an exorbitant 18 euros to leave a museum feeling utterly and profoundly confused? And the eternal question, are you firmly Team Madrid's sun, or do you secretly, masochistically, prefer the perpetual Bilbao drizzle? Share your perplexing Bilbao stories and artistic epiphanies, or lack thereof, in the comments below. Málaga, the revered birthplace of Picasso, and the very city that will undoubtedly inspire you to scream with the full force of your sun-drenched lungs, "Why is this mojito 14 euro?" It aggressively markets itself as the cultural capital of the Costa del Sol. But after a mere 3 days here, you'll find yourself not only severely sunburned and unequivocally wallet burned, but also utterly emotionally dehydrated. It's a fascinating, bewildering blend of a relaxed beach town, an intricate historical maze, and a subtly insidious rooftop cocktail Ponzi scheme. Calle Larios, the outdoor sauna of style. This is Calle Larios, Malaga's undisputed main shopping street, which, to be generous, is a polite way of describing an outdoor sauna meticulously lined with an alarming number of Zara stores. It's the unique intersection where aspirations of luxury fashion clash violently with the inescapable reality of body odor. Here, everyone, and I mean everyone, wears sunglasses, even well into the night, primarily because the relentless LED billboards are so blindingly bright they could trigger a seizure. There's music aggressively blasting from at least 5 different directions simultaneously, a disconcerting man dressed as a tree attempting to initiate uninvited hugs, and a minimum of 6 bachelorette parties chanting raucously in what sounds like 3 different languages. You'll attempt to shop, perhaps eyeing a chic linen shirt. You'll inevitably end up sweating profusely into that very 79 euro garment, questioning all your life choices. This is Luxury Street Discount Experience, where your experience is sponsored by Sweat and Shame. Castillo de Gibraltar, the uphill battle for a view. This is where you embark on a pilgrimage for the view, and you'll undoubtedly leave with the profound trauma of a 35-minute, seemingly vertical uphill death march. The Castillo de Gibraltar is perched on a hill so ludicrously steep it qualifies as an extreme form of cardio. As you ascend, you'll pass various motivational signs strategically placed along the path, proclaiming things like "almost there" and "don't turn back now." These are ostensibly meant to inspire you, but in the sweltering heat, they feel less like encouragement and more like taunts meticulously crafted by sadists. Upon reaching the summit, you'll be rewarded with a sweeping panoramic view of the bustling port, the sprawling city, the historic bullring, and your own glistening, exhausted reflection mirrored in someone else's sunglasses. There is no shade, absolutely none, only the stark, unforgiving evidence of your poor decision-making. This is tourist mistake number 61, walking to the castle in flip-flops. Welcome to Heat Stroke with a View and a realm of rooftops, regrets, and red faces. The Málaga Paradox, a toxic ex with nice views. Málaga promises you a heady mix of vibrant culture, refreshing sea breezes, and effortless elegance.
What it actually delivers is a potent cocktail of relentless heat stroke, an alarming stack of receipts, and a creeping sense of existential doubt. And yet, deep down, you'll find yourself kinda loving it. It's like that one toxic ex with whom you had an undeniably chaotic relationship, but who also happened to have truly spectacular views. You'll return home and confidently tell all your friends it was far too touristy. All the while, you'll be secretly, guiltily browsing flights to book a return trip, perhaps during the blissful shoulder season. So, tell us, what's worse in your opinion? Enduring the grueling uphill climb to an ancient castle, or shelling out 15 euros for a disappointingly average mojito? Have you ever, in a moment of heat-induced despair, cried silently inside a Zara changing room? And the ultimate question, is Malaga truly Picasso's vibrant hometown, or is it merely a picturesque backdrop for rooftop regret? Share your Malaga misadventures and sunburn insights in the comments below.
So you've made it to the end. 6 cities, a dozen regrets, 3 sunburns, and 1 deeply personal betrayal by paella. We warned you, we begged you, we showed you the overpriced sangria, the medieval stairs, the metro strikes, the $12 bottle of water at Barcelona airport. And yet, you're probably already Googling flights, aren't you? Because that's the dark secret no one tells you. Spain is awful, but in a way that just makes you crave more. You'll suffer, you'll get lost, you'll overpay. Then you'll find yourself on some broken stone wall at sunset, watching the city turn gold, and you'll whisper, okay, maybe just one more city. This video wasn't a warning, it was a test. And if you passed, you probably failed. Financially, emotionally, spiritually, but hey, at least you survived Spain. Still planning to visit Spain? Explain yourself. I need to understand. Which city looks like the worst mistake or the most beautiful disaster? If you had to suffer in one place, where would it be? Tell me below. Certified tourist regret. Overpriced but overwhelmingly beautiful. Suffering looks great on Instagram. Don't visit, or do, just don't blame me. Spain is a trap. Not the dangerous kind, the beautiful kind. The kind that ruins your plans, breaks your budget, and then lives in your memory like a fever dream you're desperate to catch again. Like the video, curse in the comments, hit subscribe for more international disappointment, and I'll see you next time in a place somehow even worse.